We now have several vaccines, Moderna and Pfizer and J&J being distributed across the United States. Could there be another one coming? Well, you've probably heard a lot of conversation about the AstraZeneca vaccine, especially concerns about side effects, including blood clots. There's been all of this news flying back and forth. Now, supposedly, their most recent big trial has been concluded and they have some good information coming from that. AstraZeneca and the University of Oxford provided strong protection against COVID-19 in a large clinical trial in the US, completely preventing the worst outcomes from the disease while causing no serious side effects. In a statement, AstraZeneca said its COVID-19 vaccine was 79% effective at preventing symptomatic COVID-19 and 100% effective in stopping severe disease and hospitalizations, similar to the ones that have already been FDA approved. Though it hasn't yet published its full data, so it's unclear if there were enough severe cases to make that finding significant. Investigators said the vaccine worked across adults of all ages, including older people, something that experts wanted better data on coming out of previous trials. So they are obviously not happy with the blood clot stuff that's been going around as a result of this, and it included a ton of people. It's like 47,000 people were involved in the trial. They're saying that it is safe. Of course, this is coming out from them, and their data is not yet available. So it's not being distributed. It hasn't yet been approved in the US. And honestly, at this point, according to what I am reading, even if it did get authorization for emergency use, by the time they would actually be able to distribute it, we would be off into May when federal officials predict that the 3 current manufacturers that have already been authorized will be producing enough doses for all of the nation's adults, especially considering that conservatives don't want to take it. So I know that this is getting people concerned. But it might kind of be a moot point. My fear is more that it might lead people not to take non-AstraZeneca vaccines, that if they're hearing about blood clots, they might think, well, whether that's true of AstraZeneca or not, maybe it's true of the others. And so that's the main reason I want to cover this, Francesca. My fear that like the bad information that might not even be accurate about a vaccine that's not even available might poison the well for the ones that are apparently confirmed to be safe.
Yeah, it's almost like we should just have one formula that works and that big pharma should take a seat and stop raking in billions and billions of dollars of profit and lording over their own patents and not sharing them with anyone. And we should all just produce the most effective vaccine. But who am I but a mere earth-dwelling dreamer? Yes, it's not good to foment like mistrust in a vaccine, especially one that actually like there isn't good stats on whether or not it's causing more or fewer blood clots than normal, than what people normally have. And I also think, look, we're gonna learn a lot about this virus as we go on, as we study it even further, because there have been, it does a number on your cardiovascular system, right? Like your circular system, not just the lungs and respiratory, but like it compounds. There's been more strokes and things like this, and that's something to study. That's something interesting. So we don't know whether these issues were already in the general public or not, or whether it was caused by this vaccine. But I know that, for example, I think it's Australia that is getting access to the AstraZeneca vaccine. Australia, which has done a phenomenal job in containing the virus, in stopping the spread of it. And I would like for Australians to get access to this vaccine and to use it, right? And so, once again, we in the United States, who have done arguably the worst job of many, many countries that have been hit with COVID, are now getting the best of the best. And hey, if you're gonna be a hegemon, have some benefits. If you're gonna be an empire, I guess this is the benefit. Although, according to the right, it's the country is in decay, but yet we still remain on top.
Yeah, and it's almost the way that we're approaching the vaccine, with us getting it first, and then even Biden saying, well, someday once we're all vaccinated, we may, charitably give some to other countries, is sort of like it's the way conservatives approach America writ large across the world. They seem perfectly happy to have a few people safe in their, gated communities, surrounded by poverty and disease and lawlessness, if that's what it takes. for them to feel safe. We're producing that by not forcing the patent to be made available, or getting out in front of the fact that, like maybe we can start shipping some vaccines to other countries even now. Other countries are doing it. Anyway, that's something that we've talked about multiple times.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.